The public administration, uh, evolution of public administration. So, as a practice and a discipline, the phases of evolution are the public administration dichotomy 1887 to 1926. Then second is the golden era of principle 1927 to 1937. Then the era of challenge 1938 to 1947. Then comes the crisis of identity 1948 to 1970. Then comes the era of new public administration or NPA in 1971 to 1990. And the last, it is also past part of the NPA and sometimes considered as the separate one. So era of new public management or LPG 1991 to present. So political first is the political administration, politics administration dichotomy 1887 to 1926. So first one is the Woodrow Wilson have studies the have focus on the study of administration, and Frank Goodnow the separate the politics and administration, and LD White write a book that talk about the introduction of administration. Then the second phase, the golden era of principle 1927 to 1937. Then comes the era of challenge 1938 to the 19 I can say that era of challenge is 1947 era of challenge. So era of challenge, the main main thinkers are Chester Bernard, and he criticized the function of executive. And then comes the Herbert Simon, give the power of administration. Then comes the Robert Leahy. He stated the science of public administration and the problem related to it. An era of challenge. So he is said that it is not the science. So then comes the crisis of identity. Then the John goes. He explained the trends and theory of public administration, raised the comparative development of administration. Then comes the era of new development. So the new development emphasis on interdisciplinary studies, rejection of the politics public administration dichotomy, and focus on decentralization, hierarchy, flexibility, and public participation. Then last one is the era of new public management 1991 to till now. So the promoter, facilitator, and distributor role. Emphasis on 3E, economy, efficiency, and effectiveness, and downsizing of the bureaucracy and resource utilization. So this is the phases we have see that the phases are so the first one is the how the public administration and politics is separated dichotomy. So some thinkers have explained the dichotomy that public politics and the public administration are different one. Then comes the era of principles, means the golden era of principle, means new principles are given by various thinkers, and that it is stated as a public administration in science, and the certain principle can applicable to certain condition and result are fixed. But then comes the era of challenge, because it have includes subjectivity. So the era of challenge, the thinkers opposite to it said the it is not the uh, the principle, they contain also subjectivity. Then the era of identity, some thinkers are want to go back to the yeah, politics, and some want to innovation, young one want to innovation in the public administration. Then come the era of public administration, 1971 to 1990, and the last new public management is 1971 to till now. So then comes the and also one Nicholas Henry Hess is also studied in the public administration. And if we see the evolution in India, then the diploma program was started in 1970, 1937 and onward. Then the separate department in 1950, and key figures are MP Sharma and MB Mathur. So institutes are international Indian Institute of Public Administration, and also UPSC have includes the public administration. Then comes the we can say the new public administration. What is the new public administration? So it is based on the socio-economic turbulence of USA 1968, and Honey Report was a major landmark of 1967. Then a Philadelphia conference take place in USA, state of Philadelphia, and Minobrook conference also there in 1968. So in Munobrook, Munobrook this meeting, Munobrook conference, the Dwight Waldo was chairman, and it has the four objective like value, equity, relevance, and change. So the Minobrook conference have the four objective: value, equity, relevance, and challenge. Then comes the key literature of give other thinkers. Then comes the oppose the dichotomy. So key feature, what is the content in new public administration? So oppose dichotomy. And then comes the flexibility, industry, decentralization. So the goal are given, and attitude change of the civil servants, public participation, and debureaucratization is take place. Then comes the criticism. So the new public administration also have some criticism, and it are related to India. Then come the approaches of studies of publication. So first one is the philosophical approach. Then comes the this historical approach. Then the legal approach, scientific management theory by Taylor. So the Taylor give the principle and technique and criticism, and Taylor stated the machine or mechanization or the profit maximization kind of things. Then comes the human relation theory by Elton Mayo. So Elton Mayo done the whole thorn studies, and he have some finding and criticize we have learned after some time. Then the bureaucratic approach by Max Weber. So it characterize and give the types of authorities, and the structural function theory, case study method are also there, and ecological approach by Riggs and Goes, and system approach is also there, and decision making approach by Halbert Simon. Then comes the what is the principle of organization. So the first one means main three are our syllabus. So hierarchy, span and control, and unity of command. So hierarchy, what is hierarchy? So hierarchy is the differentiation between vertical levels, and certain characteristics and advantages and disadvantages attached to the hierarchy. Then come the what is the span of control. Span of control is number of subordinated to a officer. So there are various factors affecting this, and a theory of Grecuna's theory of relation also attached to the span of control. Then comes the unity of command. So unity of command is one subordinated ordered by one officer. This is the unity of command, and it is from the military organization. Uh, so then the what is the administration versus management type of how we differentiation administration versus management. So the Oliver Sheldon view are given in the perspective of how we differentiate public management, public administration and management, and there are some differences also. Then comes the what is the corporate governance. So definition of corporate governance is the how the big giant companies are have the contribute to our society is the corporate governance. So need and origin is post 1991 because the rising of MNCs and various multinational and big giant companies, and Cadbury Committee of UK is related to this, and the various efforts in India like committees and CSR Act and various institutes for the corporate governance. Then comes the corporate social responsibility (CRS). So big companies have to contribute something towards the society, so that they also gain the rebate in the taxes. So section 135 of company act 2013, and eligibility criteria for company is varied from various companies, and certain committees are formed under the CSR Act. So mandatory expenditure is the 2% of the profit, and benefit of CSR from both society also benefit and the corporate governance also benefit. Argument against the compulsion limitation and suggestion of improvement. So then come the new public management. What is the new public management? So the private sector technique in public sector, and Christopher Hood give the public management for all seasons. Osborne and Gabler give the reinventing governance theory, and other names are third way entrepreneur administration, feature execution and importance. So it is a citizen centric approach, and based on chart and feedback, and performance management by KPI and audits, and it have decentralization or localization, it have transparency like e-governance and RTA. There are contract method like PPP, BOT, and various downsizing of government. 1991 constitutional amendment downsized the government to 15% of the total number of then comes the flexibility in hierarchy, e-governance, and gain plaque. Then debureaucratization, VRS, and lateral entries, and performance based pay is also there. So then come the I can say the uh, criticism over emphasis on private sector and leads to unemployment. Then come the change management. What is the change management? So the definition is the intentional and systemic changes. Management of the intentional and systemic changes is known as the change management. The element are strategy, organization, and motivation. Type of changes are structure, procedural, and behavior. And driving and restraining force are force field analysis. Levy's three-step model is unfreezing, moving, and refreezing. is important one. Generalized phase of change management are also there. Various hurdle in change management, internal and external hurdles and ideal condition for change management are also given. Then comes the ethics in public administration. So the integrity, impartiality, dedication to public service, generalist versus specialist, and citizens charter are the important ethical concern in administration. So integrity. So integrity, effort to reduce corruption, and then comes the impartiality. So there are impartiality, then dedication to public service, and then comes the generalist, means Northcote and Trevelyan report of 1853, argument for journalist and argument of specialist. Current scenario where the specialist work is increasing very. Then the come the definition, objective, feature, importance, limitation, and suggestion for improvement for the citizen charter system are also there. Then comes the control over the public administration. So the legislative control, execution control, and judicial control. So legislative control, we have the means and method like questionnaire, motion, and KEG reports. And then comes the executive control by means and matter of ministerial directions. Then comes the judicial control by the ordinary remedies like review and appeals, extraordinary remedy like writ and PIL. And there are reason for interference because one is lacking and one is active, and limitation like delay, expense, and overreach. Then comes the development administration. So the definition of development administration is given by Widner and Ricks, and key scholar are George Grant. So reason for origin and promotion post World War II. So failure of western model of the institution. So development administration is take place and feature the it has multi-dimensional and goal-oriented, and there are 4 P's: plan, policies, program, and project are also there, and objective and motives are there, and role in development country are there, and relationship with administration development are there. Then comes the what is the administrative development. So this is the whole syllabus covered, so what we cover in our lectures. So this